We are constantly searching for success, striving for falah. We hope that our labors will yield a worthy reward. But the secret to true eternal success lies not in our struggle alone, but in submitting to a wisdom far greater than our own. We begin this reflection on Al-Muflehon, the truly successful ones. The Quran itself is a profound miracle. It is composed not of some exotic material, but of the very letters and words of our own language and tongues. While human speech is frozen, confined to the thoughts felt the moment it is uttered, the Word of God is alive. It possesses life and constantly gives new insight and new benefit. Human creations, like a cup, remain static and frozen, lacking life and the ability to grow or reproduce. However, the Creator imparts the material of life to His creations like Adam, Eve, seeds, and animals, allowing them to multiply and sustain the chain of life. This living word offers us the guidance Al-Huda, defined as the indication that truly leads to the desired objective. When humans set paths, their knowledge, power, and wisdom are limited. But God, who possesses limitless wisdom, knowledge, and power, sets the path of guidance. The journey of the successful Al-Muflehon begins with acknowledging the pinnacle of faith, belief in the unseen Al-Ghaib. This means affirming the existence of a powerful, capable, invisible Creator, Allah. Once we accept the Creator, we must accept everything He tells us, even if our limited senses fail to perceive it, including belief in His angels, His books, His messengers, and the Day of Judgment. Look within yourself at your own spirit, Ra. Have you perceived it using any physical means, such as sight, taste, or touch? No. You only know your spirit by its effect, its power demonstrated through the movement of your physical body. If you cannot even perceive this created spirit within your own self except by its effects, how can you demand to see the Creator Himself? Existence and perception are two separate things. God offers historical proofs of the unseen. Before the microscope was discovered, people observed the symptoms of diseases like fever, but they knew nothing of the microbe causing them. The microbe existed, but our instruments of perception were simply incapable of detecting it. Something may be unseen, either because it is very small, requiring a magnifying glass, microscope, or very distant, requiring a telescope. God leaves some creations unperceived for a time because they are below the level of the eye's capacity. He then provides tools like the microscope, which allows the intellect to discover that enable us to see the unseen element later. Therefore, God instructs us not to deny the unseen. Faith requires continuous action. The successful ones establish prayer, an act that maintains continuous allegiance of servitude to God, renewed 5 times daily. They also spend from what we have provided them rizq. Many mistakenly limit rizq to money or wealth. But God's provision covers all aspects of life's movement. Strength is rizq, knowledge is rizq, wisdom is rizq, and humility is rizq. If you possess health, spend that health on the incapable. If you possess patience, forbearance, hilm, dispense it to the foolish. Even the perfect execution of a craft is considered rizq that you should perform for someone who lacks it. Thus, spending from rizq encompasses every movement of life and every completeness of existence. Islam arrived to address 2 types of people: those who initially rejected God and His messenger, like the disbelievers of Mecca, and the people of the book in Medina, who already believed in God, His messengers, and His books. The Islamic faith mandates that the path must incorporate both types. Crucially, God emphasized certainty in the hereafter al-akhirah. Islam desires a complete, perfect concept. Moving from belief in God, the pinnacle of the beginning, to certainty in the hereafter, the pinnacle of the end. The result for both groups is unified in the description. Those are upon guidance from their Lord. And those are the successful Al-Muflehon. Al-Huda guidance is the means, the indicator leading to the desired goal, and Al-Falah success is the goal itself. God intentionally combined the description for both types of believers to show that, after Islam, there are no 2 faiths, but one faith resulting in one reward, guidance and success. The phrase describing the successful as being upon guidance al-Huda is profound. The particle alb signifies elevation or supremacy. The methodology may restrict immediate movement, but it guarantees your honor and status. It lifts you up. Contrast this with misguidance dalal, which is described using the particle nf, denoting enclosure and surrounding confinement jarfia. The misguided soul is trapped, surrounded by its sin, unable to find an outlet to escape to guidance. What leads to this imprisonment? The delusion of self-sovereignty. When man sees himself self-sufficient, he begins to transgress. Yet, true Dadia being utterly self-sufficient is fundamentally impossible for man. Our lives demonstrate a curve of dependency. We start in helplessness, needing our parents, and if life is extended, we often return to a second infancy. Sickness or sudden death can shatter the illusion of power in a moment. The believer, realizing this, places the search for impossible self-sovereignty with the pursuit of delegated sovereignty, the vicegerency khilafah, granted by the true sovereign. Finally, let us reflect on the specific word chosen, Al-Muflehon. While its general meaning is the victorious or the winners, its linguistic root, fala, relates directly to farming, the breaking or splitting of the earth for planting the seed. This selection provides a visible, tangible lesson mashad that proves the invisible. Promised reality, Gabe, of the hereafter. When God issues divine commands tashirk, they may appear restrictive, limiting your freedom of choice. For example, when you pay zakat charity, it seems to decrease your money. But God assures us this seeming constraint is, in fact, cultivation for your ultimate benefit, guaranteeing the multiplication of the reward. When God restricts millions, for example, commanding all not to steal, the benefit of that restriction returns directly to the individual, securing peace for him. Consider the farmer. He plows the hard, silent ground and sacrifices a single good seed. The farmer's true work is only plowing and sowing. He must be realistic and say, I only plow. He does not cause the plant to grow. God alone is the sower. That single seed planted in the created earth returns not just one seed, but for example, 7 ears of corn with 100 seeds in each ear. A sacrifice of one yields 700. If the created earth rewards your temporary sacrifice manifold, how much more will the Creator reward what you gave to Him? The successful ones, Al-Muflehon, understand that the divine restriction is merely the necessary plowing needed to guarantee multiplication in the eternal harvest. Therefore, never say the earth took your seed. Say, it took one seed now to give me 700 later. This is the promise of Fala.